Young Vatos, thanks again for tuning in to yet another video. Infamous coming at you from the studio. We're going to be looking at these two bikes. We're going to be comparing the Lowrider and the Road Glide, and this is just because I've been seeing it in the Facebook group. People have been trading up to the Road Glide. It's a beautiful bike. It's a great bike. So I just wanted to compare them. But yeah, maybe you're out there and you're riding your Lowrider and maybe things have changed. Maybe you're more into two-up riding, or maybe you're getting into more long distance riding. Maybe the comfort it wasn't what you expected from a Lowrider. I mean, there's different things when you start looking at baggers. So let's just go ahead and compare these two bikes. Like I said, these two bikes are just not in the same category. They're not, okay, but they do have the same powertrain, the same engine, the same size, and yes, it's on two wheels and it's a Harley, air-cooled push rod, single crank, single pin crank. Yes, it's got that Harley-Davidson feel. And I mean, if you were to ask anybody that has made their choice or is thinking about it, yes, the Road Glide does everything the Lowrider S does. It does everything plus some. But let's just look at these bikes. I mean, they're beautiful bikes. This is the 2021, and we are going to get into a few features. Maybe you might want to consider waiting for a 2022, but I mean, we're almost there. So if you're thinking about it, I would recommend probably hold off until the dealer event, maybe late August or September. I believe they are going to be offering a little bit more tech, and they might be having some standard rider assists. But anyways, let's look at both of these bikes. This is your classic traditional full fender air-cooled V-twin. Man, it's a beautiful bike. The wheels, you got the mag wheels, you got the dual disc brakes, 5-gallon tank, everything. I mean, this bike is beautiful. It's a good looking bike. A lot of people love this bike in the Facebook group, and I mean, I've just been seeing it a little bit more often. It's been a little bit more of a common post that people are moving up to a bagger, a touring bike. So I mean, this is lighter than the Road Glide. Let's just start with some of the pros. It's lighter than the Road Glide. It's 600 and something pounds, and it has the same powertrain as the Road Glide. So you're gonna have more of a sporty feel from this Lowrider off the bat. Of course, it weighs 200 pounds less than the Road Glide, and you have mid controls, so it's just going to give you more of a agile riding around town. You could also do long distance, but it just doesn't compare to a Road Glide. I'm sorry. I mean, it is what it is. You could put a better shock in there, but overall the weight and everything else, it's going to be a factor once you consider flatlands, highway riding, and high winds and all kinds of different stuff. Not to get too off topic, but yes, it's a good looking bike. I really like this design. I'm not a fan of the color.
No.
But you know what? The whole styling of the Lowrider is, it's traditional Harley-Davidson. It's beautiful. I'm a huge fan. I've owned my bike for over a year now, and I love it. You know, I couldn't see myself trading it in, but like I mentioned, the Lowrider S just fits my riding style a lot more than the Road Glide. It's a beautiful bike, but it just doesn't fit my riding style. So let's look at the Road Glide. Another beautiful bike, man. This thing is just gorgeous. The Prodigy wheels, I'm a fan of it. I mean, I'm a fan of the new wheels for 2021. I'm a fan of the new wheels. It does weigh, like I said, this does weigh a whole lot more. It's over 800 pounds. I believe 850 pounds, give or take. But like I mentioned, you have the same drivetrain, the same powertrain. The 114 air-cooled Milwaukee 8. It's a great V-twin. It's a great powerful bike. I mean, what I mean to say, there's a lot of potential that you could get out of this bike. I mean, out of the engine, there's a lot of potential. Harley-Davidson, they do limit and they do limit this bike. That's why, I mean, the possibilities. If you've seen Shade Tree Surgeon's videos, you could get 140 horsepower, 140, or even Blockhead, you could get 150 horsepower, 150 torque, which is just, it's a beast. Honestly, it is a beast. But let's just try to keep it simple. All right. So yes, I mean, this is a beautiful bike. It's got a full fairing. It's a frame mounted fairing. You got the infotainment system. They went back to regular clutch cable. They used to have a hydraulic clutch, but yeah, I mean, the new design. I'm a fan of this low profile engine guard. You also have the floorboards on this bike, just something that I do prefer, that I do like. I like to be able to move my feet down to mid position, and then when I have to shift up or down, I could just slide my feet up and then change the gears. So it's something that I do like, having a longer floorboard. They also removed the heel shifter. So I mean, this is just minor stuff that they did to it. The overall color for the Road Glide is vast. I mean, let me just move this up so you guys can see it, because my webcam. You have plenty of more colors when it comes to the Road Glide. So if you're tired of the same old black, but you know what, guys, black never gets old. But if you're tired of it, I mean, I see it in the posts. I see people in the comments. Some of you guys want more color options. You guys want more flavor, more spice when it comes to these bikes. You do have all of these color options. Plus, you're not limited to just blacked out components. So if you're a fan of chrome, then this is the bike for you. I mean, it's a great looking bike. I'm glad that they added chrome back to the specials. I mean, it's a great option, and it's actually cheaper than the blacked out one. The blacked out one runs you $1,900. So if you want that 114 package, that special package for your Road Glide, man, you can't go wrong with this one. Look at how beautiful this bike is. It's great. I'm a huge fan of it. Like I said, the new wheel design, the overall color options, yeah, it's just great. I'm a huge fan of this bike. The overall feel, everything, it does everything the lowrider can. And I mean, you're not really sacrificing a lot. Maybe just like I said, the sporty feel of the lowrider, mainly because it is 200 pounds lighter. And just being able to throw it around, just throw it into corners, being able to just have that agile, that mobility of a lighter bike. I love these bikes. They've been making these bikes for many, many years, and there's a reason why all the other manufacturers are copying Harley-Davidson. I mean, they do sell. Last year they sold over 100,000 of these bikes. So these bikes are tried and true, especially this frame. This frame has been around since. I mean, it's been around for a while, but 2009 seems to be all the major improvements that they did to this frame. So this frame technically is the same frame from 2009. So this frame is tried and true. It's been around, all right?
A few moments later.
Getting back on topic, let's go ahead and just compare the two bikes now, all right? I've been rambling about these bikes. I could talk motorcycles for hours, guys, for hours. And I'm not going to get into all the mods you can do, but honestly, if you want this bike to feel like a lowrider, I mean, and just quickness and throttle response and stuff like that, because you do have to lug. You still have to carry around an extra 200 pounds. Yes, it is an extra 200 pounds, but I mean, if you want that throttle response, kind of like on a lowrider, you would have to just go with the stage 2, and I mean, that's not even a huge cost. I mean, yes, it's a big cost if you do it at the dealership, but I believe it's just something that you probably should consider if you're coming from a lowrider S. Okay, so let's start with the obvious, the price tag. Of course, $18,000 for the lowrider S, and let's just say $27,000 for the Road Glide Special. It's a difference of $9,000, but you do, like I said, you do get a lot. You get the passenger seat, the passenger foot pegs, those hot wheels, those wheels, man, I really like those wheels. You get the full fairing, the frame mounted fairing, the saddlebags, the comfy seat. Man, you just get a lot, and not to mention that cool looking windshield on the Road Glide. So I mean, there's just a lot. You also get the engine guard. I mean, man, and you get the ability to get the RDRS. Like I said, that might be something that might be standard when 2022 comes around. Harley has to make a big splash in 2022, so maybe you might want to wait for that. The RDRS might be standard, kind of like what we saw with the Sportster S. But not to get off the topic. Anyways, moving on down, upright sitting position. Yes, both of these bikes, they feel great. The handlebars are a bit taller than your regular buckhorn classic style of handlebars, so you are going to be up a little bit more. You're going to be more of an upright triangle position, mainly with the Road Glide. You have the forward controls, so you are going to be a little bit more relaxed. It's going to be more comfortable. Moving on down, same thing. I already mentioned this right now. Mid-mount floorboards. The floorboards are great. Like I said, you can move your feet back. If you like having that mid-mount feel of the bike, then you could do that with the Road Glide. So I would prefer mid controls, but I do like being able to stretch out my legs and have those longer floorboards. You could do that with the Lowrider S, kind of like what I did with my foot pegs, but let's not get off a topic, all right? And let's not talk about mods, because I could go on for hours. All right, so the fairing screen on the Lowrider S, yes, it's a mini bikini speed fairing, whatever they want to call it. It's a screen fairing, wind fairing. It's minor. It doesn't keep the wind off your chest. It doesn't give you a lot of protection. On the Road Glide, however, you do get all that protection. You do get all of that from the shark nose fairing. Of course, it's a great fairing. I'm a huge fan of it. I believe they've improved it from the last model, or from the last variation of it. It was just a little bit odd. It had a little bit more of a narrow headlights, but yes, I'm a fan of the newer design. It just looks beautiful. I'm a fan of Harley's fairings. I like the Street Glide, which we are going to talk about. Moving on down to the next one, the passenger seat. Yes, it comes with the passenger seat and the foot peg. So like I said, this might be something that you're looking into, where you want to ride two up. You wouldn't have to spend the extra money. You'll have to change the seat on the hold on. Sorry, there was a bug. Yes, you would have to spend the extra money for the Lowrider to get the passenger foot pegs and the seat. And the options. I mean, yes, there's options for the Lowrider. You know what? I'm not gonna get into the seats. Anyways, moving on down, saddlebags. Huge advantage for someone who likes to carry some extra gear, kind of like myself. I commute to work, so I do have my extra layers. And once I get off work, it's a little bit warmer, so I don't ride with all of that. I just throw it in my saddlebags. I do have leather pros on my Lowrider S, but I'm gonna try not to get into the whole mods, because it's gonna be hours and hours of talking about mods. Moving on down to the next thing, the infotainment system. I believe I did mention this. Yes, you do have a 6-inch display. I believe the Indians, they have a 7-inch display. But yes, I mean, there is a lot of good stuff. You also have CarPlay, you have Bluetooth, you have GPS. There's plenty of good stuff there. I'm not going to get into it, but yes, I do ride with my bike. I do have a RAM mount for my phone, and I use my own type form of infotainment system from my phone, and that's connected to my Bluetooth on my Plex Audio, and I could do that all day. I mean, it's not a huge deal, but like I said, I'm not gonna try to get into the mods, because this video is gonna be hours and hours long. But maybe you guys can share your own comments, your own thoughts, your own opinion on deciding between each bike. Yes, like I said, there are a lot of pros with the Road Glide, and you also have the RDRS optional. I believe this might be something that we might see come to the Lowrider S. Like I said, it might be a standard feature on the Road Glide next year for 2022, but as far as right now, that's only optional. And I do believe in rider assist. Honestly, both of these bikes also have ABS, and they both have dual disc brakes.
A few moments later.
All right, so something that's not on the topic, I just wanted to talk about how gorgeous this bike looks. I saw this maybe about 2 days ago, and I wanted to make a whole video on it, but man, this thing is just gorgeous. This is the Street Glide Arctic Blast. Yes, like I was saying. And I mean, the only bad thing about this is there's only 500 of them. I believe there's only 500 that are going to be made of this bike. But man, this bike is worth way over the price tag for this paint scheme. It's only $6,000. Look at this. I mean, you probably can't see it because with the web. But anyways, look at this. $6,895. That honestly is worth this this price tag. It is. I mean, you have a pearl finish. Oh man, you know what? Maybe I'll just make a whole separate video on this bike. But man, this.
6.5 hours later.
All right, that's enough drooling. Yes, this is a beautiful bike, but let's just go ahead and finish the video. You guys just leave your own comments down below. Let me know what you guys think between both of these bikes. You guys can share your own pros and cons in the comments down below. And you guys just stay out there, stay safe. Don't believe everything you read. Life's a risk. Get out there and ride. Later.